Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to address one of the most common questions I see or get asked, which is, should I buy the Royal Enfield Himalayan? Now I see this all the time on Facebook, on YouTube, message boards, Instagram, wherever. And to be honest with you, I don't know you. I don't know your riding style. So I will talk about my own experience with this bike and let you form your own opinion. Now first off, we need to split the adventure motorcyclist segment into three categories. You have your street riders, which primarily deal with long stretches of highway, very minimal, if any, off-roading. And then we have your dirt rider, which primarily deals with the opposite. They're on technical trails, tight single track, and then last but not least, a hybrid of the two, which I would consider myself. We like a little bit of both, but nothing too extreme in either category. All right, so if you were in the first two groups that I just mentioned, this bike probably isn't for you. If you're in the third group, kind of a hybrid rider, like a little bit of both, it certainly is worth considering. But just keep in mind, it is a textbook definition of a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Now, as far as speed goes, it will get on the highway, but it is certainly an underperformer on the U.S. highway system. On most interstates, 75 to 80 is it's the average speed for most cars. This bike's top end is right there at about 80. So that really just gives you no wiggle room at all to make a pass or, sudden lane change, you need to accelerate to get in the other lane. So it's just really not suited for the highway here. Now, in my opinion, that is also one of the best features of the bike. It forces you to take the back roads and take the path less traveled, which isn't that what adventure is about? Seeing the sights and taking in what a beautiful world we live in. So maybe it is a gift that it doesn't go any faster, because faster isn't always better. Another thing, the weight of this bike certainly makes it less nimble for off-road purposes. I'm not putting the bike down. It is just what it is. It's neither good nor bad. It just feels like it weighs a lot. Now, I think it handles fine for the most part on dirt roads and pretty easy to moderate trails, but I would certainly think twice about venturing into any technical single track with it. It just doesn't have the power or nimbleness of a lighter bike. So I think Royal Enfield marketing department has some blame here as far as the expectations go about this bike. They say it's the only bike you'll ever need. It's built for all roads or no roads at all. And I think for the most part, they came pretty close to fulfilling that promise, but the closer you get to the edges of it, the more it misses the mark. And, I think really it's built for most roads and some off-road, certainly not all roads or no roads, but that doesn't sell bikes. Marketing is marketing, but they do set the expectations. Now, for me, it wasn't enough on the off-road side. The on-road side was plenty for me, but just wasn't enough. I've got a Suzuki DR350 back here. It's a lighter bike, but it does have a smaller engine than the Himalayan. But since it's lighter, it feels like it has more power, and it's just all around more nimble. But it's in a class of its own. I would never compare it to the Himalayan. It's just I needed a different bike. So, that's where they fell short for me, was it's the only bike you'll ever need. It just wasn't enough off-road for me. So I ended up having two bikes. Now back to the Himalayan. It's a great all-around bike, but temper your expectations and really look at the pros and cons for the style of riding you're going to be doing. If you're going to be really aggressive in the dirt, you might not want to do this. If you're going to be really aggressive, with putting in some highway miles, you might not want this. But if you're happy with some compromise, this bike, I think, is the perfect setup for most adventure touring. Now, for me, I'm setting up my Himalayan to be my, expedition, camping kind of bike. And if I want to do any serious dirt, I'll use the DR. But this will be my primary rig for going up into the mountains to camp or any, longer excursions. And I think it is well suited for that. It's got generous luggage capacity. Plenty of places to tie on. You can put jerry cans here for extra gas and water. It's got a very comfortable seat and a very generous fuel capacity. So I think it is well suited for that, and I think that is its ideal market. So those are my basic thoughts on the Himalayan and kind of where it sits in the market. From a US perspective, I know a lot of these kind of reviews and should I buy it kind of videos are in other markets, where in India, this probably will work for you if you're in another country. But the US, we're a little bit unique in the fact that our highway system is so expansive compared to other countries. So the market's just a little bit different. So I just wanted to get my perspective out there. I have a review coming out. Subscribe so you won't miss that. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.